create our own destiny as opposed to the expectations that are put on us by other people. And sometimes we live out those expectations because we're trying to be the good girl or the good boy. And I would love for us to challenge that and talk about how do we find our own truth.
The fairy tale is over. Alicia Keys, hailed for years as both a music powerhouse and the model of relationship goals, is suddenly standing at the center of a storm, with divorce papers reportedly on the table. And this isn't just any celebrity split. This feels like karma sharpening its claws and striking with full force. The same Alicia who once sang about karma might now be living inside her own lyrics, facing the same heartbreak she was accused of causing when whispers swirled that she stepped into Swizz Beatz' marriage before the ink was dry on his split from Mashonda. What goes around has finally come around, and the timing is impossible to ignore.
I'm lucky enough to have met Alicia a few times before. Last time we met, since then, your life has changed dramatically.
It has.
It's been a few years.
Yeah.
You're married now? You're a married woman?
Yeah.
You married Mr. Swizz Beatz, I believe.
That's true.
Swizz Beatz. That's his performing name, I guess.
That is.
Okay.
And his actual name is Kasim.
Kasim. So you're not Mrs. Beatz?
No, Mrs. Dean.
Mrs. Dean. So his real name's Kasim Dean. And there you. And is that you? Is that your little boy there with you?
Yeah, that's my little guy.
We remember how their love story was framed for the public. A chance reconnection in 2008 after knowing each other since their teenage years. A whirlwind of creativity, lavish trips, and soon a wedding by the Mediterranean Sea. Fans swooned over their Zulu blessing ceremony, their carefully curated anniversary posts, the glowing pregnancy reveals. For more than a decade, they projected the image of unshakable unity. But lurking beneath the romantic captions and Instagram tributes was the old wound that never quite closed. The allegation that their marriage began in betrayal. When Mashonda took to Twitter back in 2009, begging Alicia to step aside and accusing her of tearing apart a family, the internet turned her into the wronged wife in a public morality play. Alicia denied the homewrecker label, insisting Swizz was already separated, but the scarlet letter stuck. And now, with the divorce talk echoing in tabloids, many are calling this the inevitable reckoning. We cannot ignore the irony. Alicia once basked in the image of the dream wife, penning ballads dedicated to her husband, celebrating a decade of what looked like bliss, even proudly noting they had never raised our voice at each other in 10 years. But if those words were the glossy cover, what was hiding in the fine print? The public face of harmony, the private battle of conscience. Some insiders point to a rumored diary leak that allegedly reveals Alicia struggled with guilt for years. Was she haunted by how their love began? By Mashonda's public letter that branded her as selfish and unfeeling? Was every anniversary post a layer of polish over doubts that never left her? Could it be that Alicia never felt fully secure, always wondering if Swizz loyalty came at too high a price?
You get so personal, you get so vulnerable, you get so kind of, for me, it was more about the process of expressing the way that it happened. And so I didn't feel nervous about it, but it definitely just feels vulnerable.
The whispers in industry circles suggest she carried that weight heavily, writing entries where she wondered if she had paid too much for her happiness. Did she confess, second-guessing Swizz's late-night studio sessions, his frequent flights, his endless circle of admirers? We don't know what was in that diary for sure, but the speculation alone paints a vivid picture of a woman torn between projecting strength to the world and fighting shadows in private. Could Alicia's heartbreak today be self-inflicted, seeded long ago when she chose passion over patience? That question hangs heavy because if the answer is yes, then this divorce isn't just about a broken marriage. It's about a moral cycle closing in. And then, of course, comes the latest scandalous whisper, Swizz's so-called secret rendezvous. According to sources tied to his old New York circle, he may have been spotted reconnecting with a woman from his past, the kind of figure who carries the scent of unfinished business. Was this simply a harmless reunion? Or was it history repeating itself, with Swizz slipping into old habits while Alicia watched the signs unfold in front of her? The rumor cuts deep because if it's true, Alicia may have always feared exactly this. After all, Mashonda once warned in her open letter that sparks burn everyone. Did Alicia ignore that warning only to discover, years later, that she too would be scorched?
Always so happy to see you guys.
Thank you.
You guys went to high school together?
No, I wish.
Oh, did you like know each other before?
Her best friend was a rapper in my class, and she used to always tell me like, man, you gotta meet Ali, you gotta meet Ali. She's doing music, you doing music. And one day she finally came to pick up from school, and she was like, Swizz, come here, this is Ali, that's what I'm talking about.
What strikes us most is how quickly the public mood has shifted. Once hailed as proof that love can conquer scandal, Alicia and Swizz were the glossy poster couple. They raised children together, blended families with Mashonda, even wrote about forgiveness and healing. But that veneer is crumbling fast under the weight of speculation, betrayal, and the cold slap of legal paperwork. We can trace their timeline from the teenage introductions to the wedding under Corsican skies, from baby blessings in South Africa to piano gifts for celebrity friends. Yet the more we trace it, the more we see that the seeds of this ending were planted from the very beginning. Did Alicia ever have a chance at peace when her empire of love was built on contested ground?
And he was talking about his relationship with his wife. They've been married 15 years, and he says it's a healthy marriage. And he said what keeps it so healthy is, he said, first, they don't yell at each other. And they said, we've never had an argument.
As the news of divorce swirls, the questions only get sharper. Did Swizz's devotion fade the way many predicted it would? Did Alicia's guilty conscience gnaw at her until the marriage cracked? Or was it the perfect storm? A mix of both, with karma playing conductor to a drama that feels too poetic to be coincidence. For years, she sang about empowerment, about truth, about keeping it real. But what happens when the truth is that the empire you built is falling for the same reason it rose?
Well, I mean, you handled it beautifully, pivoting from the original plans there.
Pivoting is, I think, a really important thing that I have been learning. You know, you don't always know what is meant for you, and sometimes you just have to be willing to flow, and that was definitely a big example of the flow.
Yeah.
And so we stand here, watching the story unfold, wondering if Alicia saw the signs coming long before the rest of us did. Did she lie awake replaying mashonda's words? Wondering if one day the cycle would repeat itself on her own doorstep? Did she brace for the inevitable while still posting anniversary kisses and birthday tributes? And when the rumors of Swizz's mysterious meanings began surfacing, did she feel a cruel deja vu? The same sting Mashonda once described so vividly. The diary whispers, the secret rendezvous, the divorce papers. They all weave together into a tapestry of irony so thick it almost feels scripted. But life, unlike music, doesn't always resolve on a clean note. Sometimes it just keeps unraveling.
So sad, and Gigi and all the families that were there. It changed everything. It made everything that we planned for go out the window, and just had to go with the spirit, had to go with the genuine feeling of how we were all feeling, which was...
The digital storm has been merciless. Comment sections are ablaze, hashtags are flying, and Alicia Keys' name is caught in the middle of a tug-of-war that shows no sign of calming down. On one side, loyal fans are pleading for empathy, reminding the world that even icons bleed when love collapses. On the other, critics are resurrecting every headline from 2009, shouting homewrecker and declaring this divorce to be nothing more than karmic justice served cold. The tone online is brutal. Some post cheer as if they've been waiting for this very day. Others cling to her music catalog as proof that her heart must be pure. But can Alicia survive the court of public opinion when so many have already written the verdict? Or will this chapter stain her legacy forever?
Man, I'm a lot of the same person that I've always been. I'm definitely that same kind of empathetic, relatable, boots on the ground type of girl, woman. But I definitely have a lot more wisdom. I have a lot more confidence. I have a lot more understanding of just what's real and what's fake. I think sometimes this world, this game, this industry can really be confusing. You get confused about what's actual.
Alicia's career now sits at a crossroads that few could have predicted. For more than 2 decades, she has been celebrated as an artist who not only filled arenas, but also commanded respect with her authenticity and soulful storytelling. Her voice has carried her through the peaks of commercial success and critical acclaim, but scandal changes the equation. The question haunting the industry is whether her audience will still hear her music the same way now that her personal life is under siege. The melodies haven't changed, but the meaning behind them might feel heavier, darker, and more complicated for listeners who once saw her as untouchable. In the world of celebrity, image is currency, and Alicia has carefully built hers around integrity and empowerment. Yet, the reemergence of old accusations and the narrative of karma has the potential to overshadow even her most recent achievements. She was celebrated at the Super Bowl, praised for being the most certified female R&B artist of the millennium, but those accolades risk being buried under a tidal wave of gossip. Industry watchers are asking if the brand Alicia Keys can withstand the collision between her carefully polished image and the raw scandal now consuming headlines.
So music has been a big part of your lives for a very long time.
Absolutely.
So what does it mean to you both as we sit here getting ready to celebrate Grammy weekend?
Well, for me, music is the instrument of life.
I agree. I feel like music is it's the answer, it's the reason. It's so powerful. That's why we all...
There is also the matter of timing. Music is cyclical, and artists thrive on momentum. A divorce played out in public courtrooms and online debates could stall that rhythm, leaving projects in limbo. Labels, sponsors, and collaborators are notoriously cautious when controversy looms, and no matter how established Alicia may be, the ripple effect of scandal is real. A delayed album, a scrapped campaign, a canceled endorsement, all are possible outcomes when the personal bleeds too deeply into the professional. For someone who has long balanced artistry with brand building, the cracks could widen quickly.
All deserve it. It's not something where you're not supposed to have something nice. I think we're taught that we're not supposed to have nice things because it's somehow unholy or not.
On the other hand, pain has always been the birthplace of powerful music. Alicia's catalog is filled with songs that emerged from moments of struggle and transformation. This divorce could mark a new chapter in her creative journey where heartbreak and introspection fuel some of her most honest work yet. History shows us that artists often create their most enduring material in the wake of turmoil. But will the public be willing to embrace it? Or will skepticism about her past drown out the emotional truth in her art? That uncertainty makes this turning point so precarious. The concert stage itself poses another test. Alicia is known for commanding crowds with nothing but a piano and her voice, yet live performances thrive on connection. Fans want to feel unity, not division. Standing on stage while half the audience silently judges could shake even the strongest performer. The risk is that every lyric about love, trust, or redemption will be scrutinized, dissected, and linked back to her marriage. That level of microscopic attention could either break her confidence or push her to sing with even greater conviction. Which outcome awaits is a gamble no one can predict.
I think you're right, and I guess I didn't ever realize it because I live with myself, so I know who I am, and I know how I feel, and I know what I do, and I know how I vibe, and all of my friends and people that rock with me, they know me. So
cultural memory is another battle she now faces. For younger audiences discovering her through streaming platforms, Alicia has always been the queen with the piano, a symbol of artistry untainted by tabloid fodder. But scandals stick, especially in the era of viral content. The next generation might discover her music not through her biggest hits, but through TikTok clips of people mocking her marriage drama. In an industry obsessed with legacy, that shift in perception is as dangerous as any chart drop. Once the narrative changes, reclaiming it is nearly impossible.
Is that guy? So I think that's what happens. You might get misconstrued, and then you start only thinking about yourself as opposed to making sure that everybody is good. So as long as that's happening and there's a balance, then there's nothing wrong with having.
Industry veterans also point to the danger of isolation. When celebrities face backlash, allies often grow scarce. Public friendships fade, collaborators quietly distance themselves, and suddenly the spotlight feels harsher than ever. Alicia has long been admired for fostering collaborations and uplifting other artists, but now there may be hesitation from those who fear being dragged into the chaos. If that network of support thins out, the career crossroads could tilt into a steep decline. The question then becomes, does Alicia have the resilience to fight her way back alone, or will she retreat into silence?
They'd be like, guess what? I want this. What are you gonna do about it? Mm-hmm. Accommodate me, as opposed to me always accommodating you. So that's the part that and so I started to recognize that that's what I was doing. And I thought it was humility. I thought it was, fluidity. I thought it was kindness. I thought it was whatever, but I realized it was actually, I felt some type of way about I didn't have the self-worth that I should have had.
Perhaps the most poignant angle is the irony of it all. Alicia has built an empire on songs about strength, about rising above hardship, about finding peace amid chaos. Yet today, her own career depends on whether she can embody those very themes in the most challenging chapter of her life. Will this heartbreak fuel her creativity, propelling her into a new era of raw, unforgettable music? Or will it derail her entirely, leaving her legacy fractured and unfinished? In this way, the crossroads is not just about industry or image, but about whether Alicia Keys can live up to the very message she has been preaching for decades.
What happens when you're working on music and he does something that you don't think is great, or she does something that you don't think is great?
It's easy.
Is it easy?
It's very hard for me to find something that she can't do great.
Well, just suppose. I mean, because everybody's going, Alicia, that's great, great, great. Swizz, that's great, great, great.
Oh, I tell
and you're sitting there saying,
he's brutally honest. I'm like, could you be a little?
What makes the backlash sting even more is the timing. Just months ago, Swizz was celebrating her achievements with glowing tributes, praising her Super Bowl performance as history-making. That warmth is now contrasted with strangers dissecting her private life in real time. We've seen celebrities weather scandals before, but the intensity here feels personal. It's not just about a breakup, it's about a morality tale people have been holding onto for over a decade. Fans who once used Alicia and Swizz as proof that love conquers all are now forced to face the irony that the fairy tale crumbled after all, and as the noise grows louder, Alicia stands at a crossroads. Either rebuild her image in the face of hostility, or risk being defined by a narrative she fought so long to escape. Yet, beyond the venom and sympathy online, there's another angle we cannot ignore. the curse of fame itself. Alicia and Swizz were never just a couple. They were a brand, a glossy symbol of artistry and success. Two megastars under one roof sounds like a dream, but could their love ever truly survive under the constant glare of flashbulbs and fan expectations? Every dinner became a photo op, every anniversary a performance, every argument a risk of exposure. Behind the stunning Instagram posts and the Architectural Digest home tour, was there exhaustion setting in, the quiet recognition that privacy had slipped away forever? With fame comes fortune, but fortune often carries hidden cracks, and those cracks can split a marriage wide open.
You and Alicia have been married for 13 years. You have a 13th wedding anniversary coming up.
Yes.
With Miss Keys, who we love. Oh my God.
Consider the demands of their careers. Alicia was balancing motherhood with sold-out tours, Grammy ceremonies, brand deals, and advocacy work. Swizz was producing for other artists, collecting art, flying across the world for collaborations. Their lives looked glamorous, but how many nights were spent apart? How many birthdays missed? How many moments sacrificed at the altar of celebrity schedules? Alicia herself admitted in interviews that perspectives changed once motherhood came into play, that she had to slow down and carve out time for family. But did the relentless pace of two careers as heavy as theirs push them beyond repair? Could the very fame that elevated them also be the slow drip, eroding the foundation of their marriage? And whispers continue to swirl that this may only be the beginning. Insiders hint at more revelations to come. Not just about late-night rendezvous, but about finances, projects, even friends caught in the middle. There are mutterings of a tell-all memoir, possibly from Alicia or even from those close to Mashonda, which could reopen old wounds in excruciating detail. And what about the children? Custody discussions, however amicable they may begin, have a way of becoming battlegrounds under the public eye. Every legal filing, every leak, every carefully worded statement could turn into the next headline. We've watched other celebrity splits devolve into media circuses, and there's no guarantee this one won't follow the same script.
But this is the thing that I like about the two of you together, because it does feel that you are each other's cheerleaders. But is there ever healthy competition between the two of you?
You know, I would say no, because I feel that one of the things that really works about us is we're very different. Even the style of music is different from my style of music. We complement each other as opposed to kind of ever in each other's way. Or
the more we piece it together, the more it feels like this divorce is not an ending at all, but the opening act of something far larger. Alicia once seemed untouchable, but now her empire trembles under speculation, judgment, and the cruel reality that public memory never forgets. With whispers of a memoir ready to spill secrets, possible custody battles looming, and hidden scandals waiting for their spotlight, the storm is only gaining momentum. Is Alicia Keys on the verge of facing her darkest chapter yet? We'll be watching, and we know you will too. Tell us in the comments, is this karmic justice, or just another tragic casualty of fame? Until next time, stay tuned, stay curious, and keep your eyes open. The next revelation may be closer than we think.